Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the ages, exploring the complexities of human experience and the grand tapestry of our collective past. Today, we delve into a pivotal moment in modern history, one that would shake the foundations of colonial empires and redefine the struggle for freedom and equality: the Haitian Revolution. In the late 18th century, the island of Saint-Domingue, nestled in the Caribbean, was a French colony unlike any other. It was a place where the brutalities of slavery and the excesses of colonial wealth coexisted with a vibrant culture born from the fusion of African, European, and indigenous influences. This was a society where the enslaved outnumbered their masters by a staggering margin, where sugar plantations stretched as far as the eye could see, and where the rhythms of African drums echoed through the night, whispering tales of resistance and rebellion. To understand the Haitian Revolution, we must first turn our gaze to the early history of Saint-Domingue. Founded in 1697, the colony quickly became one of the most profitable in the French Empire, with sugar, coffee, and indigo being its main exports. The enslaved Africans, brought to the island against their will, were forced to work under inhumane conditions, their bodies broken by the relentless labor, their spirits unbroken by the brutal treatment. As the 18th century progressed, Saint-Domingue became a cauldron of social unrest. The French Revolution's Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, with its eloquent pronouncements on liberty, equality, and fraternity, found eager ears among the island's free people of color and even some enlightened whites. However, these ideals were starkly at odds with the harsh realities of slavery and racial discrimination that pervaded every aspect of life in Saint-Domingue. The enslaved and the free people of color, inspired by the revolutionary fervor spreading from France, began to organize. Figures like Vincent Ogé, a wealthy mulatto who had witnessed the French Revolution firsthand, emerged as leaders, advocating for equal rights under the law. Ogé's activism, however, was met with fierce resistance from the white planters, who saw any concession to the free people of color as a threat to their dominance and wealth. The tensions escalated in 1790 when Ogé returned to Saint-Domingue, determined to push for reforms. His efforts were swiftly crushed, and he was brutally executed, a stark reminder of the colonial authorities' resolve to maintain their grip on power. Yet, Ogé's martyrdom served as a catalyst, galvanizing dissent among both the enslaved and the free people of color. As we move closer to the precipice of revolution, another key figure emerges: Boukman, a Vodou priest who would play a pivotal role in the events that were about to unfold. It was Boukman who, in the heart of the island's lush forests, would convene a secret meeting, a gathering that would change the course of history. In the sweltering summer of 1791, as the night sky was painted with the vibrant colors of a Caribbean sunset, Boukman stood before his followers, invoking the spirits of their ancestors and calling upon them to rise against their oppressors. It was here, under the canopy of the forest, that the first whispers of revolution were spoken, where the dream of a free Haiti was born, and where the very foundations of colonial rule began to tremble. The gathering, known as the Biwa Caiman ceremony, was more than a simple act of defiance. It was a declaration of war against the French colonial regime. It marked the beginning of a long and bloody conflict that would engulf Saint-Domingue, drawing in forces from France, Spain, Britain, and beyond. As the flames of rebellion ignited across Saint-Domingue, figures like Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and Henri Christophe would emerge, each playing a crucial role in shaping the revolution's trajectory. The journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, from the harsh realities of guerrilla warfare to the diplomatic maneuverings of European powers seeking to exploit the situation for their own gain. As the flames of rebellion ignited across Saint-Domingue, the year 1791 became a watershed moment in the history of the Haitian Revolution. The Biwa Caiman ceremony, led by Boukman, marked the beginning of a widespread uprising that would soon engulf the entire island. On August 22, 1791, thousands of enslaved Africans rose up against their French colonial masters, attacking plantations and killing many of the slave owners. This initial wave of violence was followed by a series of skirmishes and battles between the rebels and the French military, with the rebels employing guerrilla tactics to great effect. One of the key leaders to emerge during this period was Toussaint Louverture, a former slave who had gained his freedom and would go on to become one of the most important figures in the Haitian Revolution. Born into slavery around 1743, Louverture had managed to educate himself and had even served as a coachman for a French plantation owner. However, as the revolution gained momentum, he joined the rebel forces and quickly rose through the ranks due to his military prowess and strategic thinking. In 1793, the French National Convention, then ruling France, issued a decree abolishing slavery in all French colonies. This move was largely seen as an attempt to undermine the British and Spanish, who were also vying for control of the Caribbean, but it had significant implications for the rebels in Saint-Domingue. Toussaint Louverture, recognizing the potential benefits of aligning himself with the French, switched sides and began fighting on behalf of the French Republic against the Spanish and British, who were seeking to take advantage of the chaos in the colony. The period between 1793 and 1798 was marked by intense military campaigns as Toussaint Louverture and his forces battled against the Spanish, the British, and even rival rebel groups. One notable victory came on June 18, 1795, when Louverture's forces captured the strategic town of Mirabelais from the Spanish. This victory not only expanded Louverture's control over the island, but also cemented his position as a key leader in the revolution. As the years passed, Toussaint Louverture's power and influence continued to grow. In 1797, he was appointed as the commander-in-chief of all French forces in Saint-Domingue, giving him de facto control over the entire island. However, this newfound authority also created tensions with his rivals and even with some of his former allies, who began to view him as a potential dictator. In 1798, Louverture issued a constitution for Saint-Domingue, which effectively made him the ruler of the island for life. While this move was seen as a necessary step towards stability by some, it also alienated many of Louverture's former supporters, who feared that he was becoming too authoritarian. The year 1801 saw a significant escalation of these tensions as Napoleon Bonaparte, who had risen to power in France, began to take a keen interest in Saint-Domingue. Recognizing the strategic importance of the island and its rich resources, Napoleon sought to re-establish French control over the colony. In October 1801, he sent a large expeditionary force to Saint-Domingue, led by his brother-in-law, General Charles-Emmanuel Leclerc. The arrival of the French forces marked the beginning of a brutal and devastating conflict that would last for several years. Toussaint Louverture, realizing that he could not defeat the French in open battle, opted for a strategy of scorched earth and guerrilla warfare. As the French advanced across the island, they were met with fierce resistance from Louverture's forces, who employed tactics such as ambushes, sabotage, and raids to wear down the enemy. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the rebels managed to inflict significant casualties on the French, thanks in large part to their knowledge of the terrain and their ability to mobilize support among the local population. However, the French also committed numerous atrocities against civilians and prisoners, seeking to break the will of the rebels through terror and intimidation. In May 1802, Toussaint Louverture was captured by the French while attempting to negotiate a surrender. He was subsequently deported to France, where he died in prison in 1803, reportedly due to malnutrition and neglect. The loss of their leader was a significant blow to the rebels, but it also galvanized support for the revolution among many Haitians, who saw Louverture's capture as a betrayal by the French. The struggle for independence would continue under new leaders, including Jean-Jacques Dessalines, who emerged as one of the most prominent figures in the revolution after Louverture's capture. Dessalines, a former slave who had risen to become a high-ranking officer in Louverture's army, was known for his bravery and military skill, but also for his ruthlessness towards his enemies. In November 1803, Dessalines led a decisive victory against the French at the Battle of Vertières, which effectively ended French control over Saint-Domingue. The following year, on January 1, 1804, Dessalines declared Haiti's independence, renaming the island after the indigenous Taino word for land of high mountains. This moment marked the culmination of a long and bloody struggle, as Haiti became the first independent black nation in the world, born out of the ashes of slavery and colonialism. As Haiti declared its independence, Jean-Jacques Dessalines became the country's first leader, taking the title of Emperor Jacques I. However, his reign was short-lived, as he was assassinated in 1806 by a group of rebellious generals. The country then split into two parts: the Kingdom of Haiti in the north, ruled by Henri Christophe, and the Republic of Haiti in the south, ruled by Alexandre Pétion. The early years of Haitian independence were marked by struggles to maintain sovereignty, as European powers and the United States refused to recognize the new nation. The Haitians had to fight to maintain their freedom, facing numerous challenges, including economic embargoes, diplomatic isolation, and military threats. Despite these obstacles, Haiti continued to develop, with a focus on education, infrastructure, and agriculture. In 1825, France finally recognized Haitian independence, but at a steep price. Haiti was forced to pay 150 million gold francs in reparations to French plantation owners who had lost their properties during the Revolution. This debt, which was not fully paid off until 1947, severely hindered Haiti's economic development and contributed to the country's long-term poverty. The Haitian Revolution's impact extended far beyond the island itself. It inspired similar movements for independence and abolition throughout the Americas, including in the United States, where it influenced the thinking of prominent abolitionists like William Lloyd Garrison and Frederick Douglass. As the African-American leader and historian W.E.B. Du Bois once said, the Haitian Revolution was the most significant event in the history of the Negro since the advent of Christianity. Today, the Haitian Revolution is remembered as a pivotal moment in world history, marking the first successful slave revolt and the establishment of the first independent black nation. It serves as a powerful symbol of resistance against oppression and a testament to the human spirit's capacity for freedom and self-determination. The legacy of the Haitian Revolution can be seen in the many social and political movements that have followed in its wake, from the civil rights movement in the United States to the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. As the Haitian anthropologist and writer Jean Price Mars once noted, the Haitian Revolution is not just a historical event. It is a living, breathing force that continues to inspire and guide us today. It challenges us to think critically about issues of power, identity, and social justice, and it inspires us to work towards a more equitable and just world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.